2, 1. Oh, I don't think that was timed well. Okay, here, we'll try one more time. 3, 2, 1.
Okay,
Okay,
that's off of my clap
we'll sync
there,
it from the claps. So, hello everyone.
Howdy.
Great to be back. So, with the MCU joining new phases, going new heights. They've done Phase 4. They're gonna start doing Phase 5, and
It's gonna be
also
awful, but okay.
and also with the DCEU, fallen on its face. It needs some help, getting back up, taking some baby steps. So Kyle and I thought we would pitch a movie for for Feige and for the crazy people running the DCEU, whoever they are, just for the future, just in case they need it. So first, what we're gonna go through the characters, like the 3 main characters we want, and then we'll try and go through the plot a bit. So Kyle, do you want to go first with your one?
No, you can start. I'll let you start.
Okay, which one should I do first, MCU or DCEU?
I don't mind either way.
I'll do
Just
the
whatever.
DC one because it's easier. Okay, so for my DC movie, I've decided to pitch a Doctor Fate movie.
Huge.
So if you know who Doctor Fate is, Carl, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't know, it's pretty much he's a magician who, like, it's normally a person and he binds himself with the spirit Nabu, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Hello? Yep, binds himself with spirit Nabu, and he's he's a master of order, and he holds to order. So my 3 main characters. First off, for Doctor Fate, I have gone with Nicolas Cage as Doctor Fate.
God.
And I've done it for a very specific
No.
reason. No, okay, so number 1. This is the main reason. Doctor Fate doesn't have a face. So the only emoting you get with Doctor Fate, is through his voice and his eyes.
Okay,
So
I
you
guess
need
you're right.
so you need a good actor that can emote with his voice, and also an actor with an iconic voice, so that, like, new people to the franchise, they'll hear Doctor Fate and not know who he is if they haven't seen his movie and be like, oh, it's him, I know this guy. Nicolas Cage will do any role, like literally any role. You just got to offer him like a Snickers bar and he's there. So he's got a very iconic voice, and I think the best thing is that he can go from like a well-mannered citizen to like a crazy person in a second. So anyway, I think Nicolas Cage. Kyle, do you have any counterpoints against Nicolas Cage or no?
I'm not really. I guess that's pretty good reasoning. I guess you don't really see his face, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter what he
exactly.
looks like.
Yep. So my second character, the love interest of Doctor Fate, kind of love interest, not really. I don't care if it's not like the comics, but I just wanted to introduce her. I've gone for Zatanna as Mila Kunis as Zatanna.
Hmm. I don't know about the actress is fine, but I don't know about the love interest. That's kind of weird.
No. Just, it's alright. I explain it, okay? Like, it's okay. Trust me, it's gonna be fine. It's not like main love interest. It's just, I'll get to it, okay? Anyway, and for my last one, for my villain, I've gone with Wotan. For being honest, again with Wotan, I feel like it's gonna be in the voice. He's gonna be wearing a lot of CGI, so he needs someone who's comfortable with CGI or who isn't a top quality actor. So you can pay him less or pay him more and he'll do it, and it won't be over budget. I've gone with Wentworth Miller for Wotan.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
mainly for one reason, but also Wentworth Miller. I think he's a good actor, and I think he can, because Wotan's like a master of chaos. So again, I think he can do the thing where he just speaks, like he can just emphasize random words, and like he has a very like strong voice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And he can be like sort of like calm, collected, and he can like anyway, good actor. I think he'd be fine. So onto the plot. First off, I'm gonna do a plot hole. I'm gonna talk about magic in the DCEU. So far, and this is one of the reasons I think we should do Doctor Fate. The only magic in this universe is Shazam, and Shazam is magic, so it introduces magic into it. But he's not really magic anyway. And the difference where I want to go is in the DCEU, I want magic to be like a mutation. So some people have magic, some people don't. And if you want to utilize powerful magic, a person with this magic gene needs like an item or to like a spirit or something that can give them like connect them to this magic. So
Okay.
like if you think
Interesting.
about it like the like the spirit is like the power source and this person with the gene is like a processing unit or like the screen of a phone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So without the power source, like maybe it's got like a little juice and you can like do things like make your hands like sparkle or whatever. But if you want the real magic, you need like a spirit or like an item, and that's gonna come in later. Okay. So do you like that definition of magic in this universe?
That's interesting, actually.
Because
Actually,
that's
I
where
don't
I feel
mind
like
that.
Doctor Strange lets us down. Because Doctor Strange magic's just like, well, if you study hard enough, you'll be able to learn magic. So like Tony Stark could become like a sorcerer supreme if he really wanted to in the
True.
MCU.
Actually, yeah.
Because that's how they explain it. He's like, I can't do magic, and they're like, no, you just got to study, Strange. Like you got to study. And yeah. So anyway, this one's different. So it's for this, it's just like, well, Superman can't become a magician and just solve every single problem because he doesn't have the magic gene in him.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. On to the plot. So I just want to say, just quick thing. This plot, there's going to be two plots, an A plot and a B plot. The B
Okay.
plot comes in the third act, and the A plot is resolved before the third act. So in the first act, we've got Fate, Zatanna, and Anton Arcane, who is Rotan. So these three are stage magicians, but they have the magic gene, so they can do actual magic. And the three of them like are working together. Where Fate and Anton are like the main guys, and Zatanna's like sort of the stage hand person that can actually do magic, so they can put her in things like a box and cut it up, and she won't be in there, etc.
Yeah.
Yep. Fate and Zatanna. So they're like in love. Okay, they're dating. Okay. Fate doesn't have a name because I don't. It's Nicolas Cage. He's only on screen for like half an hour, 20 minutes. So they're just dating because they are. They love each other. They'll have a scene together dating. Doesn't matter. One day, while doing some tricks, Fate and Zatanna are chosen by the Masters of Order. So they disappear into this realm of, the Order realm or whatever. I don't care. And they're chosen to protect order and bestowed with these artifacts. So this is where the definition comes in, and they say the Masters of Order is like, to use the best magic, you need like an item. Are
Mhm.
you with me so
Yeah.
far? Yeah. So Zatanna, she gets the magic wand because it's just like here you go, and so she needs the wand to do magic, and she also gets a spell book which has all the spells where she speaks backwards. And the reason the spells are in backwards is so that like a regular person or someone without magic can read it or whatever. It doesn't matter. And Fate is bestowed with Nabu. So he gets the helmet that has Nabu in it. And when he puts on the helmet, Nabu talks to him and says, you can be at the wheel, but if you really want to be as powerful as can be, like and reach your full potential, we have to merge spirits and become Doctor Fate. Um, and then we sort of cut away, so we don't know, and that's sort of like a mystery. We don't know if Fate like has accepted it, if Nicolas Cage has accepted it, or if Nabu sort
Okay.
of forced him into it. So that's something later, and no one knows. Not even Zatanna really knows.
Mm.
I'm also one more thing about Nick Cage is he has a fit or something. He has like a tick, so he has something that can identify him like very easily. That especially Zatanna can see. Like he, I don't know. We'll figure out what the tick is later.
Mhm.
And then we cut back, and Arcane is like, so we cut back to the three of them, so the three magicians and Anton, and he's jealous because of his unworthiness, and so he goes off to try and find his own magical spirit. Okay, and then we cut to a specific time in the future, and we cut for one reason alone, so that Zatanna and Fate have been doing magic for a while, and they've all gone their separate ways. So Zatanna is more experienced, and it's not like she's really stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 3-year time gap or time jump.
Yeah, 3 year, 2 year time gap doesn't matter. Anyway, So Anton tracked down the spirit called Wotan, and they merge and they start to wreak havoc. And Dr. Fate is immediately alerted to this present due to a disturbance in the Force. That's all it has to be. He can feel that like the Master of Chaos is here. And he tracks down, and this is what I wrote, he tracks down his old flame Zatanna for help in tracking down Wotan. And this is what I wrote word for word. For some plotty reason, like Wotan's magic cancels his out. So he needs to get Zatanna
I
involved.
love that
for
reasoning.
some plotty reason, whatever. It's like I think the reason I thought in my head is Fate's like, oh, he's too chaotic, and I'm too orderly. I can't track him down. He's all over the place. Like he's here, there, everywhere. I need someone. I need help. Oh, and also here's another like thing, and this is something that comes in the second plot. So, and this is where we establish plot B. Is Fate tells Zatanna that it takes a certain time, like 24 hours, for a soul to completely control the chaos that is the Wotan spirit. So there's a ticking clock. Okay, I put in a ticking clock for part B. And the reason that they want to stop him before this time is just because Fate doesn't really want to like try. Fate just wants to get this over and done with. He's like, oh, stupid chaos spirit. And then also Fate reveals a spell that can split spirits. Okay, that's the thing. That's his plan. Is he has a spell and he needs Zatanna to like hold Wotan down, and then he's gonna like split them. So
Okay.
Zatanna hatches a plan to separate Fate, Dr. Fate. Okay, so this is plot B. Plot B is an Ocean's 11 style heist where Zatanna's planning a heist to steal back Nick Cage from Naboo. Okay, that's plot B. No, it's okay though because it connects. Anyway, so where we go? Yeah, so Fate and Zatanna like they track down Wotan 2 times. So they track him down 2 times and he escapes. And Fate just sort of like loses it at Zatanna, like saying, "Why you're not working with me? It's your fault that Wotan keeps escaping. You got to pull your head in." And also, while they're tracking her down, like him down, Zatanna is like disappearing every once in a while. Like she just goes off to do her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And then the third time, she finally realized she sees Fate do the tick, like his hand moves or whatever, or he's like kicks up his leg, whatever it is, and she realizes that Cage is still in there and that she has to work with him. So then she finally works with him and they catch Wotan, which leads to Act 3, which is the Ocean's 11 style heist.
Oh boy.
Okay, so this is the heist. So we reveal while tracking down Wotan, Zatanna has been meeting up with people to get materials to separate Dr. Fate. She
Okay.
invites Fate into her apartment, and when to do that, she like sort of thinks back to when she was at Philadelphia, and then out of nowhere, Shazam appears, bang, and holds down Fate.
Oh, that's actually pretty lit.
And then, yep, and when Shazam appears, she explains to him, "Oh, I need you because you're magic. I need you because you're magic. I need you because you're magic. So if I get Superman, Fate may like use his magic to stop you, whereas you're resistant to magic."
Okay.
So that's why she got Shazam in, and also Shazam's there. So big brain. And then also she tracked down a random magician called John Constantine to do the spell,
Ooh.
as Zatanna needs more power. She's not powerful enough by herself. So it works, okay? So Cage and Fate have split apart. But Cage confronts her and tells her, like he was happy being Fate, and he was the one who wanted to be Fate, and tells her like Romcom 101 tells her that if he loves him, she should let him go. And she finally realizes that Cage wants to be Fate, and that to control the order in the universe, that she has to let her old lover be this guy. So then they all go off and they live happily ever after, okay? Credits roll. And then it's end credits time, Kyle. End credits scene. We're in a prison. Arcane is in this prison. And this guy, he's a big sort of bulk of a guy. And he's got some ice powers, Kyle. He's got ice powers. Mr. Icicle, you could say. Or Icicle Senior, whatever his name is. I didn't even care. Played by Dominic Purcell or whatever.
Oh my.
They're in prison together. And Icicle looks up at Wotan and he says, "Look, hey, you're that magic guy, aren't you? Okay, because I've got connections, Mr. Luther, who wants to make a team.
Oh
You
my
in, you
god.
out." And then we cut back to Wotan and we see his eyes start to glow red. And he said, "Well, if I'm out, we've got to break out. If I'm in, then we'll need to break out." And then cut to black. It's Prison Break V2. And the main point is the Injustice League, what Lex Luthor's doing is that he's recruiting villains in prison. And that's why he hasn't established his league yet. He has to recruit these people to break them out. So that's why he's like slowly doing it, is that it'll become a later threat. Anyway, so Kyle, that's, it's going to win many Oscars, I think. Oscar for Best Movie. Nick Cage
Yeah,
is going to win Oscar for
definitely.
Best Actor. No, I don't know. I thought it was good. What did you think, Kyle? Would you watch that movie?
Probably would, but uh,
You would watch it, Kyle. Let's be real. You would see the stupid DC logo thing pop up where it's a bunch of people standing and you would just like explode.
it's way better than the Marvel one. What do you mean?
Yeah,
They're just like clips from the movies that you've already seen already, and that's all.
yeah. Okay, now let's hear your one. So, Kyle, what I've heard is you've only done one because
Yes.
you couldn't
So,
think of any new Marvel characters to do.
yeah, because I don't know any Marvel. The only ones I know are the main ones, and they already have like 3 movies each.
Okay, so let's hear you. So, what's your DC one?
Oh, mine's Titans,
Titan.
because yes, like
Okay.
older version of the Teen Titans, because I don't know, I like them and they're cool.
Great.
That's basically it.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's go. What are the characters?
Alright, so I'll just list all the characters and I'll say the actors after. So there's Nightwing, Kid Flash, Donna Troy, Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern, and Arsenal. And then the
Okay.
villain, Deathstroke, of course, because
He's already cast,
best
so you don't
villain
need to cast
ever.
anyone.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, fair enough. Um, if for Deathstroke, I got Joe Man.
Manganiello.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that last name
Yep.
because dude,
He's
when
already cast in the
in
role.
that like Justice League post end credit scene, that was actually kind of nuts. His suit was really cool, and he looked exactly like Deathstroke. So I'm like, I gotta put him as Deathstroke.
Okay.
And for Nightwing, I've got this random guy called Finn Whitrock.
Okay.
And I was just like looking online, he looks like Dick Grayson. So yeah,
Yeah.
all my reasoning for actors are just because they look like the person. So it's not that
Okay.
interesting.
That's fine. That's okay.
I don't know. I'm not too familiar with actors. For Kid Flash, I got KJ Apa. That's his name. His real name's like Kennedy James Fitzgerald Apa. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
fine. Can you like send me photos of them all in the chat or?
I probably should, eh?
Yeah, because
Actually,
I feel
you can
you've gone.
just search up the name on
I'm
Google.
searching.
It's like literally just KJ then APA.
So from what it sounds like is you've gone to the depths of Google Images.
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
Oh wait, is it KJ Arpa?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, nah, he's a Kiwi.
Hmm.
Oh, he's on Riverdale. Okay.
I know
Anyway,
for
continue.
Donna Troy, I just got Alexandra Daddario because
Oh,
yeah,
but she's like 30 something though, isn't she?
that should be fine. It's makeup to make her look younger. But Titans are around like 25 anyway, so
Yeah. Anyway,
not much of
continue.
a stretch.
Oh
All
wait,
right.
apparently wait.
Mm?
Apparently Alexander Daddario is going to be playing Lois Lane in a Superman movie that's coming out this year. Superman Man of Tomorrow.
Oh wait, really?
August 23. Yeah.
Huh, that's cool.
So she's already on the payroll.
The animation for that movie looks a bit weird though. I don't really like it. Definitely prefer the normal DC AMU one.
Yep. Anyway, continue.
Alright, so at the beginning, you just do some random. I don't really care. Just introduce all the characters somehow. Be pretty simple, since they're all basically sidekicks. You can just do it from there. I like flashbacks to when they were
Yeah.
working with the mentors.
Yeah.
So basically, just starts off with them just fighting random villains, like low-level villains, and just kind of like stomping them, rolling them, and they're starting like really confident in their ability, and they're like, "Wow, we're a great team. Nothing can stop us." Then after versing, let's say about like 5 villains, it's like revealed that Deathstroke has been like hiring all these villains to go and attack the Titans, and then while they're fighting, he like analyzes their like how they fight and how they use their abilities and all that sort of stuff. So you can find a way to counter them and like make a plan.
It's like Batman Arkham Origins, where this like guy's hired a bunch of assassins to kill this one person.
Yeah, basically, but Deathstroke like knows they're all gonna fail. He's hiring them just to see how the Titans fight together and how good they are. And then next, he finally makes up a plan
Before
to
you go on, I just
cure
gotta
the
say one
Titans.
thing.
Mm.
Is Lex Luthor in this at all trying to put a Jolly Rancher in Deathstroke's mouth? Is Deathstroke standing there and Lex Luthor's like, put the cherry, have the cherry.
No. Deathstroke's
Like,
motivation
how,
mainly is just because of that Jericho thing that
yeah.
happened when they were originally the Teen Titans. How they got Jericho killed, I guess,
Okay, anyway,
in
yeah,
big
continue.
quotation marks.
Yeah,
um,
continue. Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
all good. And then yeah, Titans get a bit too confident, and they see Deathstroke and like, oh, just one of these other normal villains that we just roll. And then Deathstroke just like doesn't he just acts on his plan, and they all just get rolled. Like Kid Flash's kneecaps get shot out, Nightwing's arm breaks, and then all the other ones just take lots of damage and just all injured and stuff.
Did they have flex tape to stop the damage?
Hmm.
Did they use flex tape to stop the damage?
Yeah, of course. Like, what else would you use?
Okay, good.
And then after like barely managing to escape, using like I don't know the Green Lantern ring or something, as like it's a hidden mechanic. I don't know. Somehow escape, and then I mean I haven't thought this far through to be honest. And then I don't know. They just like Nightwing does like the leader stuff, gives like a pep talk,
I just wanted to watch a movie where
and
Deathstroke
then
just goes in and kneecaps Kid Flash.
no, shoot his kneecap. Kid Flash's
Yeah,
kneecap so he can't run. That's
yeah,
that
exactly.
happened in the
Yeah, you
comics
just wanted to
sometime.
watch. You just wanted to watch Deathstroke kneecap him.
It would be pretty cool though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Um, and then they realize they're not invincible. They have to work together as a team and not just do their own thing. Um, yeah, and then
Like love at all? Is there any like love interest between any of the characters or not?
uh, not really. There's not really any love interest in this movie.
Yeah. And did
It's
they
kind
just
of
go
like
and
a
like kill
team-based movie.
Deathstroke?
Yeah, then I don't know. Deathstroke
When Death,
unveils like the second part of his plan, which is to infiltrate the Titans Tower if they still have that. I
yeah,
don't know. I haven't thought about that. They probably do that.
it's fine. It doesn't
So
matter.
he infiltrates Titan Tower because all part of his like master plan. But this time the Titan's actually ready. Nightwing uses his detective skills to figure out what the plan was. Well, not the entire plan, but as like a he knows at least Deathstroke was gonna go to the tower. So set up defenses. They've made a plan. They've like trained a bit to work well together, and then let's defeat him. Chuck him in jail. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, I'm glad you said checking in jail because I've thought while you're talking, I've thought of something that's amazing that can link our movies together.
Oh
So
my
end credits
god,
scene,
no.
Deathstroke is in jail and he's like there and gets an anonymous phone call and he says plan like the plan is go or something, and then he starts the plan to break out the Injustice League or whatever.
It probably would have been better if Lex Luthor was like, I have a job for you and it pays well. And then he just goes, what's the deal? What's the contract? That'd be a pretty cool ending.
They just like redo, like they just reshoot the scene from
Or then
Justice League.
they just name drop just like a random character, like I don't know, Bruce Wayne or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't really
Oh,
care.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, no, that's good. I'd like it. It'd be fun to watch. It'd be new.
Mm.
I'm,
Not gonna lie,
I'm
half of it's probably gonna be fight scenes because
yeah.
I'm into fight scenes. They're really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't like Teen Titans because it'd be kind of depressing to watch Deathstroke just go in a kneecap like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I didn't want
Okay.
to put the team like Starfire, Raven, and all that because I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really like them. They're fine, but I prefer. It's not I don't like
I
them. They're
also
just
I
like
also wait. Who
average.
is the kid? Who is Kid Flash's mentor?
What do you mean, Flash?
Yeah, oh, so is
You
Ezra
okay?
Miller
No,
mentoring another
no,
Flash,
no, no, no. Okay,
or is
that's
this
not
like
connected to
pre?
the DCU because Ezra Miller. God no, God no.
He's
It's
already been Flash pointed out, and
it's the
Ezra
kid.
Miller's been replaced by like a 40-year-old Flash that's been working since he was like 5. It's been
It's the kid. It's like the Kid Flash has in continuity now. Wait, he's like the Flash. I guess there's like two Flashes. He's that one. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know.
yep. Okay, so now for my MCU one, because Carl, I already don't talk enough in these podcasts between the two of us. Yeah. Anyway, like you said though, with the MCU, it was hard to find a character that hasn't already been done or isn't about to be done.
Yeah.
I've found one,
Oh, okay.
and this is one, and it's not like a Fox character. I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's a Marvel character. So, have you heard of a Marvel character called Century?
Ah, yeah. I
Yeah.
was actually thinking of doing him, but I didn't know too much about him, so I
I'm so
just.
glad you didn't because otherwise I'd be a big waste of time. Yeah, okay. So Century, I'll give some like backstory. So Century pretty much like Marvel Superman, except he's more powerful.
Mm, okay.
So I can explain. So he's strong, he's quick, he can fly, he can shoot lasers. He can also manipulate matter, and by that I mean like he can turn his hand into like swords and crap or whatever. He can also bring people back from the dead if he really wants to.
Wait, is he actually that OP? What the hell?
Yes, he's actually that OP. And I explain how they've de-opped him. So Sentry, part of his powers is that there's also a person named Void. And how Void works is Void's like thinks that he's essential to Sentry living, and he's like the opposite. So like say for every one person Sentry saves, Void goes and kills another person. So that's how like they've stopped him. So Sentry doesn't like getting involved in stuff. And in the
Okay.
comics, how he's been introduced is he just was like he's just like a big fat person, and then he just remembered that he's a superhero because he erased his mind and he erased everyone else's minds.
Okay.
So then he just comes back and no one remembers him, but he's like, "No, you know me. I've been here for a while." Like Hulk remembers him as Golden Man, and he's like helped the Hulk calm down. Spider-Man won the Pulitzer Prize for taking a photo of him, so he's been there in the past. He is extremely strong in the comics. Some of his more famous things is he once offered to flip an island by just to trap Magneto, just flip a complete island that's deep in the ground.
The hell? Okay.
He once carried the helicarrier with the help of two other people because he doesn't have the Superman aura where he can just carry a building by himself. He needed other people to stabilize it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like
And
that.
probably the most famous thing he's ever done, which will come up in my movie in a way, is he once broke all of the bones in Hulk's body without breaking a sweat. Hello? Yeah. So he just went to the Hulk and broke all of his bones. So, the main characters in my movie. So, first one is Sentry. And for Sentry, I've gone with someone who's confirmed that they are going to be doing a Marvel movie in Keanu Reeves. If you don't know who Keanu Reeves is, you're living under a rock. So I've gone with Keanu because I think he's got a face that like he can look very old. So like he can look like an old person or like he can look fat in a way, because one of the first things is that Sentry, when he's gonna join, he's gonna be fat, but it's gonna be real funny seeing Keanu in a fat suit. Also he can do a lot of the stunts, and with Sentry, I want like the action to be like creative, and the way to make the action creative is that the main villain is going to be Absorbing Man. He's going to be played by Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've picked Steve Austin because like wrestlers do well in the MCU. I thought Dave Bautista's great, and the Absorbing Man has appeared in Agents of Shield as a different person, but he was sort of crap. So I've figured out a way to turn this Absorbing Man into, a proper person in Steve Austin. And the other person, the third lead, is going to be Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson. Chosen Captain Marvel because she's really powerful. She's been really boring in like not be boring, where she could be interesting. Anyway, so those are my character choices. Kyle, what do you think of my character choices?
I like the Steve Austin thing. I think that's a pretty good one,
Pardon?
actually.
You cut out.
I like the Steve Austin.
Steve Austin?
Yeah.
Yep. Did you like Keanu,
Absorbing
Kyle?
Man. Yeah, that's actually pretty good as well, actually. It's
Yeah.
kind of sweet, especially with like the long hair. I reckon
Yeah,
you
with
can
the
really
long
rock
hair.
that.
And I think you could also make him blonde. I think, hair color, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And also, I just think it would be funny to see Keanu in a fat suit. So, Sentry's real name, Robert Reynolds. So, the plot starts, Robert Reynolds, a fat middle-aged man that works as an assistant for a SHIELD professor. And this is like after Captain Marvel, so maybe like a couple years, so early 2000s, late 90s,
Oh,
that
okay.
era. This professor, not named, he's working on this Sentry formula, which can give someone the power of 1,000,000 suns. And he's trying to replicate the Captain America formula. So this is the formula before the Hulk Gamma event debacle.
Okay.
In the comics, normally the formula is like a Captain America formula plus like what they've learned at Weapon X, but Weapon X doesn't exist, so just going with Captain America. Anyway, Reynolds just drinks the formula trying to get high. He's just there. He just drinks it just cause. The professor realizes that Reynolds is in danger and sedates him. And he starts to work on stabilizing this formula to make sure that nothing bad happens to Reynolds. Like he creates an alter ego that is extremely evil. Yeah, so we don't want that to happen at all, do we? Also, Nick Fury calls in Captain Marvel just to make sure, just in case Sentry, who's supposed to be extremely powerful, goes off. Okay, so that's like the first opening bit. That's first act. We've introduced Sentry. We've introduced anyway. So second act is going to be sort of the bulk. So we cut back. Hulk snap created more metahumans to the world due to the gamma radiation that was sent. So
Okay.
that's how we can that's just like more villains. Like it's not going to be like villains just pop up out of nowhere. No, sorry. I want villains to start popping up out of nowhere and not to be like, you've made me, like in Iron Man. I think we're going to start getting away from that. And I think this is a good way just to explain it, where, he just became a villain. Like, he just became a metahuman.
Fair enough.
And then we got to the Absorbing Man. So, Absorbing Man in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he's like small, boring, don't like him. I want to see a big, massive, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin come in, shaved head, and just destroy. So, he's absorbed this radiation and has become more powerful. So that's where he's got bigger. He's absorbed this radiation to become Steve Austin, and he can now also absorb powers as well as elements,
Ooh, okay.
which is now makes action interesting because now Sentry cannot touch him, because if he does, he'll give Absorbing Man some power. And also, this power surge woke up Sentry, who put himself forced to sleep in, he's buried himself say 10,000 kilometers in the Earth. Like he's at the Earth's core asleep because
Okay.
of something that happened that we'll get to. So far, okay. So a team of Avengers attempts to stop the Absorbing Man. And these are like B-Tech, whatever, like Falcon, Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi can be there, because I don't know, I think that'll be fun. Yelena Belova, And just like a ragtag team of B-list characters that no one really cares about. and also we'll just have um we'll have say just a new Iron Man. There's also just this, or someone wearing an Iron Man suit. Just made
Yeah.
their own one. Just we don't have to explain this person. Just whatever. She's just there.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And they get destroyed because every time they go near Absorbing Man, he absorbs their powers. And he just absolutely just he just rickrolls them.
Rolls them.
Yeah,
Rick rolls.
yeah, yeah. So they're calling Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel's the main go-to. She's the most powerful metahuman there is, and as she gets there, before so she appears and she's gonna start fighting. Sentry sort of pops up out of the ground and just breaks all of the bones in Absorbing Man's body, all of the bones, and you see Mortal Kombat style, just the
Oh
bones
God.
just being shattered, or even an animation where you just see the outline of his bodies and the bones just turn into dust or whatever.
Jesus.
He just he doesn't even break a sweat. He's just there smiling hey guys, it's me, Sentry. So he's powerful, and Captain Marvel doesn't distrust him. Well, everyone else is like, oh my gosh, man, you're so cool. And for the next bit, we get we sort of halt progress to sort of establish Sentry's powers. So we see him they do a bunch of tests and it's a montage, and he will fight Spider-Man or whatever and just roll everyone, and he'll fight 5 of them at once. And Captain Marvel doesn't trust him, and then Captain Marvel's like, I'm gonna fight you, and everyone's like, oh damn, oh damn, it's time. Let's go. And Sentry start has to use some effort. You can visibly see that he's struggling to keep something back.
Mm.
And then he beats Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel gets angry, and someone Shang-Chi's like, "Yo, CM, why are you so angry all the time?" And Marvel
That's my
explains.
secret, because I'm always angry.
Yeah. Yeah, and Marvel explains. She goes into exposition talk. She's like, last time, you don't understand. This isn't the first time he's been here. Last time he was here, and then goes back into backstory where they cut back, and so Sentry's been sort of helping people, but she was there and she saw him with his eyes he's all red, he turned red with anger, just kill 50 shield scientists, just absolutely just destroy them on the helicarrier or wherever. While building the helicarrier, he's just there destroying people. And Captain Marvel's and after that he was so recluse that he just disappeared forever. And I was always watching my back just in case this monster ever showed up again. And then suddenly, after Thanos is gone, he appears. It's a bit too convenient for my liking, because Captain Marvel is just a bit of an ass. And then Sentry's like, no, you don't understand. In Keanu voice, so it sounds great. You don't understand. He's like, there's something inside of me. He calls himself Void, and he tries to balance me out. So every person I save, he goes and kills 1, he kills 2, he kills 3, and he's even stronger than me. There's nothing I can do to stop him. So I didn't know what to do. So I buried myself a million miles under the earth. I dug all the way to China. That's how far down I dug.
God. Jesus.
Anyway, so there's a bit of falling out. And Act 3's got to start. So Sentry goes to interrogate Absorbing Man, and he accidentally touches him. And Absorbing Man's like, ooh, boy.
Rubs hands
And he
together.
absorbs his powers, yep, and he just escapes. He just tunnels his way, whatever, doesn't matter. So Captain Marvel starts scolding Sentry for being reckless. And he goes to put himself to sleep again, exclaiming that he fears saving people. He's scared to save someone because he can't control Void. And then before he goes, Captain Marvel sees him and says, listen, you have all the power, okay? And you should use your power to do good. When Void comes, we can stop him. And you can stop Void as well, okay? Back in my day, when I did my movie, I thought that I had to control my powers, and I should be able to fight without them. But powers are great, okay? And you should use them when you can. You know, that's why I shot Jude Law, because I'm just like, whatever. I'm so strong. Why should I have to fight you hand to hand? Why do I have to grow as a character? Stuff that. Listen, you. They go to fight the Absorbing Man, the two of them, and Sentry and Captain Marvel struggle. So Sentry's like, creating like constructs and throwing stuff, and Marvel's just shooting her beams because she's powers are boring, and they don't know what to do. And then Sentry turns red, and Void comes out, and Void, I don't know, he speaks backwards, or I don't know, whatever. Void's there, and he just, and this is what I want to happen. This is gonna be gruesome. Void's gonna go. He's gonna defeat the Absorbing Man. This is how he does it. He rips off both of his arms, just like straight away rips them off, and then flies up and throws him into the sun.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And Void's like, ha ha ha, I've got control. And turns to Captain Marvel and says, Sentry saved you from absorbing me last time. So now I have to kill you. Because that's how it works. And he morphs his hand into a sword. Sentry fights back. And seeing Captain Marvel reassure him, he realizes that he can do it. And like in the comics, he locks Void back in his mind. Away in the back. Never to be seen again. Credits roll. End credit scene. Void standing there over Captain Marvel, preparing to kill her. She opens her eyes, no one's there. All she can see is a faint red glow outside her window. So Void's not really gone.
Ooh.
Yeah. And also, just another thing, to explain why Sentry isn't in any of the other MCU movies, something they've done in the comics which I thought was hilarious. They just call him up, and he just doesn't answer because he's just at home eating chips, watching TV. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna
I like that reasoning.
Yeah, so that's it. Every time he's literally like sitting at home until like a threat that like actually matters appears. So yeah, so if you want him, if you want Sentry to be there, you have to go knock on his door and take away his endless supply of chips that he just creates. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think Sentry would be good to watch.
That's a really good pitch, actually. I think I prefer it over the Dr. Fate one.
Yeah.
That's like a really good idea, and actually gives like, well, it gives Captain Marvel like.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Captain Marvel was so
role.
boring.
Yeah.
She's always like in her movie. She was so boring. She's just like in a movie. This is what happened. They're like, oh, Carol, you gotta control your emotions, and she's like, okay, I'll control my emotions. And they're like, ah, you have to be Carol. You have to control yourself. You gotta stop it. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then, like, even at the end, this is what I brought up. Even at the end of the movie, Captain Marvel doesn't grow because Jude Law's like, prove to me that you can face me and that you're better now. And she just shoots him.
It's lasers. Huge.
Yeah. Anyway, I like that. And also, I think it gives you a chance to, like, introduce Sentry or introduce, like, some of the other people. Like, you can have, like, Spider-Man be there, like, fighting, just being Spider-Man and having fun.
Mm.
You can have him, like...
Little cameos
like,
from other
yeah, you can have
heroes.
him, like... You can have, like, Spider-Man webbing around, like, talking during the fight completely. You can have Shang-Chi just there. And, like, you can have Shang-Chi, like, really, like, martial arted up with Keanu Reeves as Sentry. And have Sentry have to really try against him to show, oh, Shang-Chi's someone to mess with.
Okay.
Master of the martial arts. Anyway, I think it'd be, and also yeah, Captain Marvel has a chance to be like a third lead and be interesting, where she's conflicted about this person, and yeah. Anyway, Sentry's good. Feige, ring me up. I'm not doing anything right now. I'll stop my degree. I'll come work for you.
I'm sure he's gonna listen to this.
I'll tweet you, Feige.
God.
Anyway. So Carl, where's your Marvel movie?
Yeah, that's non-existent. Yeah,
Why
even
don't-
tries
I
like
don't know.
searching up Marvel characters. I'm like, the ones that I do know are like X-Men, and I don't really care about them at all.
Yep.
It's like a Cyclops.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
you can't really
I've
make
got
the only
a...
X-Men movie you can make with like a solo character is like Wolverine. Like, you can't make a Cyclops movie. That's just
Yeah,
I don't
I
think it'll
thought
work.
for an X-Men movie, something I've thought is that they've always been there in hiding, and it's like a small team of a couple people, and like it's like Scott's the leader, but he's like kind of like an old rugged leader that's like kind of willing to do whatever it takes. Deadpool's in the team. Anyway, another like mini pitch that I've thought of is for Spider-Man 3 movie. It involves the Fantastic Four, but it's like Reed Richards Fantastic Four, so they're just scientists, and Doctor Doom's their benefactor.
Oh, okay.
And the Fantastic Four, they're researching to get to alternate dimensions. And Nick Fury's plays Spider-Man in charge of like making sure that like a villain doesn't come and ruin the plans.
Mm.
And then Spider-Man gets sucked in to a different world and gets replaced with Billy Braddock, who's Spider-Man but British, Spider-Man UK. So you get Tom
Oh,
Holland being British, and anyway, and pretty much it's like them, and it would be fun to see Tom Holland like two Spider-Men and like sort of deal with the things. And it pretty much the whole reason is to get him back. Reed Richards has to like create like a big explosion or whatever, and that creates the Fantastic Four and gives Doctor Doom some powers. Is to get Spider-Man back. So I thought it was quite interesting. Anyway, do you have any other mini DC pitches that you want to do?
Not really, to be honest. I don't know.
Okay. Well, Kyle, I've got
Hmm.
my gauntlet here, and I'm about to slip these movies into existence.
No, please no.
Yeah, especially your one. Yep, I just snapped. I don't know if you can hear it.
No, I can't hear it at all.
Anyway, oh, Kyle, I just also realised. How are you going, Kyle? I forgot to ask.
I'm doing alright. Just
Great.
vibing.
Great.
What about you? How's your week been?
It's been okay. We've gotten so many views on the last episode.
How
We're
many views
almost in
did we
double
get?
digits, I think.
Wait,
Last time I
really?
checked, we were at 8.
Oh, huge.
It is huge. We need a bit more people. That's it. We need Carl. You're tweeting out all the episodes.
No,
Seriously.
I don't have. How many followers I have on Twitter? I'll quickly check actually. I have
Oh.
24.
Yeah, it's at 8. Okay. No comments. I just want you
Huge.
to know. I don't know if the listeners, when the video premiered, like straight away premiered, it got 3 comments of just like a bot account, like it's posting links to just like a random website.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, stay frosty, guys.
Laters.
Later.